Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MetrObelisk Radio's Firefly Retrospective. Today, we are going to look at the episode Our Mrs. Reynolds. Now, this episode was written by Joss Whedon. I've already covered his resume earlier in this series. And this episode was directed by Vondie Curtis Hall. Now, as far as Firefly is concerned, this is the only episode that he's directed. Now, he's been a director on other shows such as ER, The Shield, Sleeper Cell, and Boston Legal. This was the third episode to air on the Fox network at the time of the show's initial release. Now, this is the episode where Malcolm gets quote-unquote married. Basically, the entire episode is trying to figure out who this woman is. Now, the most that we learn is that her name is Saffron, and all I'm going to say is just remember this character going forward because she does come back later on in the show. And they are headed to another planet where they can basically just drop her off and everybody can just go about their merry way. But this episode is structured around this mystery about her, a femme fatale storyline, so to speak. We then learn that she's not who she's claiming to be. She takes control of Serenity and leaves in the shuttle before the bandits catch the Serenity. It's discovered that she's had training as a companion in terms of the art of seduction, aka a classic femme fatale. The Serenity crew outmaneuvers the bandits using a net that could fry everyone inside the Serenity, and they catch up to Saffron after this. Malcolm and her wrestle around for a little bit, and then it ends by having Malcolm just basically knock the bitch out. That's basically all that's in this episode, nothing more and really nothing less. Now, this was an okay episode. If there's anything that this episode did that had nothing to do with setting up Saffron, is that we see Malcolm and Inara's potential relationship get teased throughout this. Had Saffron not come back in a future episode, that's pretty much all this episode accomplishes in terms of advancing the characters. Had Saffron not come back in a future episode, this is probably an episode that you could have skipped altogether and not have it affect your viewing experience watching Firefly for the first time. So that's going to do it for this episode of our Firefly Retrospective. I know it's probably one of the shortest in the series, but not every episode of Firefly is thought-provoking. Come back next time when we cover the next episode in the series, Janestown.